Christmas Eve in Chicago, breath turning to ice, and I'm at Maple Square pulling a sealed sandwich from a trash can, like it's the last quarter in my pocket. A guard the size of a fridge decides to narrate it for the crowd, loud and proud like my hunger is a show. Then a little girl asks her dad why I don't have a home, and that question, not the cold, slices straight through me. He tells the guard that's enough, just like that, no yelling, no chest beating, the kind of voice people listen to, even if they don't want to, and the guard backs off, tossing me one last look, like he wishes the world were different. The little girl steps up and offers me a cookie wrapped in a napkin, Daddy says. I make them too sweet, she whispers. I take it. Try to smile without my lips shaking. That's when the door of the fancy restaurant swings open, and out glides Sienna, my old sous chef, turned headline coat, perfect lipstick mean, well, Ray Mitchell still collecting crumbs, she purrs. I should have kept walking, but pride is a stubborn little engine. Better crumbs than stolen recipes, I say. She laughs, the kind of laugh built for rooms with ceilings made of money. No wonder investors ran from you, she says. And before I can decide whether to breathe or fight, the dad steps between us. Patient eyes, steady jaw. That's enough, he says. She gives him a slow smile. And you are, he doesn't blink. Someone whose patience costs more than your last year's profit. Leave, and for a second, she actually does, which tells me everything about him I need to know. His name is Eli. His daughter is Maddie, their housekeeper is Nora, and by the time we reach their place, stone fireplace, real books, the kind of quiet you only hear in old money houses. I've already told myself 50 times I shouldn't be there. Charity sticks to you like smoke. You know what I mean. But in their kitchen, my hands remember before my head can argue. Sweet potatoes, garlic onions, smoked paprika. A whisper of cayenne, brown sugar, but not much cinnamon, but not dessert. A quick kiss of cider vinegar to wake it up. I move calm and sure, because the stove is the one place the world stops shouting. When Eli takes a bite, he freezes. Not the awkward kind, the memory kind. My wife tried to make this for years, he says, voice thin around the edges. Harper, she called it. Your braise with the fire at the end, my heart stumbles. Harper, I say. She came to my place. Copper Spoon sat at the counter on Sundays and took notes in a little lined notebook, apologized for her handwriting, like the words mattered more than the food. We burned pans and laughed and kept going. He stares at me like a door just opened in his chest. She never told me who taught her now. I know. After Maddie drifts off with Nora and a red napkin, she insists is for special people. Eli looks at me the way a person looks at a plan they've already decided to build. I want to help you rebuild, he says. A sentence like that has teeth when you've been under someone's boot. I don't want pity, I snap too fast. Too sharp, he shakes his head. Not pity, partnership. You run the kitchen. I help run the structure. We clear your name and do it better than before. I stare at the steam and listen to my ribs creak around the hope I've been holding in like breath underwater. Maybe I say, maybe I'm not afraid of the fire anymore. And he smiles like a man who's been in enough boardrooms to know when a yes is hiding inside a maybe. Tomorrow does not ask permission by breakfast. A grainy photo of me walking beside Eli and Maddie hits a gossip site. Fallen chef leans on billionaire single dad. The caption coughs because dignity doesn't trend. The comments are exactly what you think. Grifter prop, she's playing the kid, yeah. That happened. Maddie's cheeks go pink. Why are they saying bad things about Miss Ray? She didn't do anything wrong. I tell her, people write stories when they don't know the truth. Eli says, then we tell it ourselves on our terms. He calls a PR woman named Jade who talks like a lullaby and thinks like a scalpel cameras show up in the kitchen. I put my notebook on the table and open to the page where Harper's handwriting lives in the margins of my recipe loops and scratches that feel like fingerprints. I tell the story plain, how Copper Spoon wasn't just food, it was family, how Sienna whispered to investors, and we didn't hear it until it was too late. Inspectors appearing like bad magic, headlines that stuck like tar, people who said they loved us, backing away like we'd suddenly grown teeth. Jade cuts the cameras and exhales. That's it, no polish, just truth. It airs between a rescue dog segment and college football, and for a minute the city puts down its pitchforks. Former regulars post photos of cornbread and gumbo. A janitor writes that we made him feel like a regular. Even when he wasn't, Jade says, momentum is greedy, lean into the plate, so we do a church basement pop-up line around the block. Jazz trio in the corner, because somebody remembers a critic stands and toasts, if redemption had a flavor, it's whatever is in that pot. People laugh, then cry, then laugh again. I forget to be careful for exactly 11 seconds, and it feels like standing in sunlight after a long tunnel. Sienna answers in press release, Silk, the Sienna Cole Academy for Discipline and Integrity, photos of perfect jackets and cameras catching her saying, "The tragedy of Ray is she mistakes chaos for craft. Former employees speak out. One headline hisses, toxic kitchen. Another claims, questions swirl around our community funds. The quotes are fake. The spreadsheets are prettier than the truth. My fists land on stainless, like I'm trying to shake loose a vending machine that ate my last bill. Eli puts both hands on the counter, like an anchor. We don't hide, we get louder, but with proof. Jade starts tugging at threads that smell like shell charities. While we wait, we set a trap for doubt. An anonymous dinner in a borrowed warehouse, no names. Just a flyer that says the back room food, that speaks first. 30 minutes are a humiliation. Half-empty chairs, the tick of a bad idea. Then people trickle in, a couple from church, night students whispering about a mystery chef, cooks on their night off hunting something real. I cook like I'm being chased by dessert. The windows shake with applause. Jade steps up and says, "By the way, your chef tonight is Ray Mitchell," and the noise doubles. They didn't come for a billionaire's stamp. They came because food cuts a path when lies try to block the road. The investigation cracks open like a pie, with too much steam. Whistleblowers looped donations, apprentices as props, the academy as laundromat. We call a press conference, and I say her name out loud with the folder in my hands. This is fraud, not rumor. The room shifts from hunting to listening. By nightfall, the feds are at her door, and half her donors have their hands in the air, like money caught fire. We set one more table in Maple Square, folding chairs under warm lights. Feed anyone who shows until the pots go dry. People tell stories between bites. A woman hugs me so tight, my back pops and says, "I haven't tasted Georgia since my mother passed." Somewhere across the square, Sienna watches. In a dark coat, the air around her cold as a coin. She files an appeal later, because some people never stop performing. The trial moves faster than you'd expect for something this messy. I don't want revenge. I want oxygen, but when they call me to the stand, I tell the truth. The way you pull a thorn, quick and clean. I lost my name and my home, and the last place I ever felt like I mattered. And the person who took it smiled while she did it. I hold up the notebook with Harper's loops and scratches glowing under courtroom lights, and a hush drops that isn't silence so much as respect. The verdict unlocks a door I thought was welded shut. Guilty on multiple counts. Headlines scream, cameras spin, and somehow I still have to get up the next day and decide who I am when the noise stops. We find a little brick spot on Ashland and Oak, with tired windows and floors that creak like old knees. The community paints. A carpenter donates a bar. A neighbor brings a box of mismatched mugs and says, A table feels like home when the cups don't match. We call it the landing because after a long fall, you need somewhere to set your weight and breathe. Opening night feels like a family reunion where half the cousins are strangers and none of that matters. Maddie wears a tiny apron with her name stitched crooked. Nora runs the pass like she was born to Eli, stays mostly out of the way and entirely in the room. And when the first plate leaves the kitchen, people clap like it might break if they don't hold it with both hands. Then a slick op-ed floats across my phone, polite words hiding a blade. It says my comeback is a case study in billionaire branding, that stories like mine help people believe a check can fix a system, that chews up anyone without power. Part of me wants to throw the phone in the sink. Part of me nods. Not wrong, not completely. Money moves the volume knob, so does community. So does a 5-year-old, handing a too-sweet cookie to a stranger. In the cold. I finish service, sit at the bar with the last cup of coffee, open the notebook to Harper's page and let the kitchen hum. Wrap around me justice. Closes the wound. It doesn't erase the scar, but scars are maps if you let them be. They lead you back to a table, to a stove, to people. So tell me what you see in this. Was I wrong to take Eli's hand? Or is that what partnership looks like when power plays fair? Does a restaurant that feeds folks who can't always pay actually move the needle, or just make us feel better for a night? Have you watched someone get lied about until the lie felt like fact? What turned it around? Drop your take in the comments. The right, the wrong, the uncomfortable. I'll be there after cleanup, a little flour on my sleeves, still trying to make the heat feed more than the hunger.